They want pillows.
Anything I can do, Miss Green?
No, thank you.
Don't call yourself a doctor in my presence.
4 more cablegrams and more packages. Dad is going crazy upstairs with that bell going all the time.
Oh dear. June, will you go? What did you say, Richard?
One's from New York, and the other's from San Francisco.
There was something from Alaska early this morning.
Doesn't that bird brain of yours have a function?
I'll get them right away. He wants Players Club cigarettes.
Players Club?
They have them at Kitchener's.
Thank you.
I'll run down and get them.
Yes, I'm waiting.
Tell me, Miss Green, are they bringing him out soon?
We're getting him up now. He'll be out very soon.
Oh, I'm so glad. He must be very happy.
I trap like a rat in this hellhole.
Oh, who do you think that was? Mr. H.G. Wells from London.
H.G. Wells. On our telephone?
I'll go. This certainly is a busy house.
That's orange juice. That's fine. Is it fresh, Sarah?
Yes, ma'am.
You move like a broken down truck horse.
He sounds exactly like he does on the radio.
Good morning. Good morning, girls. What do you think? He's getting up and coming up this morning.
You don't mean it. Can we stay and see him?
I'm sure he'd love it.
Excellent.
Girls, do you know what just happened?
I'll be upstairs, Mother, if you want me.
Oh, okay. Oh, June, tell your father you better come down, will you? Because Mr. Whiteside's coming out.
Yes, Mother.
Is he really coming out? I brought him a plant. Do you think I could give it to him?
Why, yes, that would be lovely.
And some casfoot jelly.
Why, how nice. Yes. Who do you think was on the phone just now? Mr. H.G. Wells from London. And all these cablegrams. And he's had calls and messages from all over the country and Europe. He's had them from the New York Times, Felix Frankfurter, Dr. Defoe, the Mount Wilson Observatory. I just can't tell you what's been going on. I am simply exhausted.
There was a big piece of it in this week's Time. Did you see it?
No, really?
Your name's in it too, Daisy. Listen. Portly Sheridan Whiteside, critic, lecturer, wit, radio author, intimate friend of the great and near great. Last week found his celebrated wit no weapon with which to combat an injured hip. The Falstaffian Mr. Whiteside, trekking across the country on one of his annual lecture tours, met his Waterloo in the shape of a piece of small ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Ernest W. Stanley of Visalia, Ohio. Result: cancelled lecture tours and disappointment to thousands of adoring clubwomen in Omaha, Denver, and Points West. Further result: the idol of the airwaves rests until further notice in the home of surprised Mr. and Mrs. Stanley. Possibility: Christmas may be postponed this year. What's that mean?
Let me see this. A small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Think of it!
You know, Daisy, if it were my home, I would have a bronze plate put right on that step, right where he fell.
Well, you know, I felt just terrible about it. I mean, he never goes to dinners anywhere, and then he finally decided to come here, and then this had to happen. Poor Mr. Whiteside. But it will be so wonderful having him here, even for a little while. Just think of it. We'll sit around in the evening and we'll talk about books and plays and great people he's known. And he'll talk in that wonderful way of his. He may even read Goodbye, Mr. Chips to us.
Found it, Daisy! I can't hold it any longer. When do you suppose he's getting out of that bathroom?
Ernest, he's just getting up this morning.
Morning, Mrs. Stanley.
Pardon me, and H.G. Wells telephoned from London, and we are in Time magazine. Look.
Oh, Daisy, I don't like this kind of publicity at all. When do you suppose he's going to leave?
Well, Ernest, he's just getting up this morning. After all, he's had quite a shock, and he's been in bed for 2 full weeks. He'll certainly need to rest a few days, Ernest.
I know, but the whole thing's just so darned inconvenient. You know that phone going off all the time, all those bells ringing through the night? And then there's all those blasted messenger boys running in and out of here.
Pardon me, Mrs. Stanley. Have the cigarettes come yet?
My son has gone for them, Miss Cutler. And, oh, yes, this is Miss Cutler, Mr. Whiteside's secretary. Thank you.
How do you do? May I move this chair?
Oh, is he coming out? Is he?
He is indeed.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Bradley.
Well, here we all are, merry and bright. Could you wheel our little patient out, Miss Pretty?
Sarah, he's coming out. Oh, I can barely contain myself. It's...
I may vomit.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Whiteside. I'm Mrs. Ernest Stanley, remember? And this is Mr. Stanley.
How do you do, Mr. Whiteside? I trust that you're feeling better today.
Thank you. I am suing you for $150,000.
What?
I said I'm suing you for $150,000.
Why? Because you fell on our steps, Mr. Whiteside?
Samuel J. Leibowitz will explain it to you in court. Who are those two harpies standing there like the kiss of death?
Oh, a casper jelly.
Made from your own foot, I have no doubt. Now, Mrs. Stanley, there are a few small matters I must take up with you.
Yes.
Because this corner druggist at my elbow tells me that I must be confined to this moldy mortuary for at least another 10 days, due entirely to your stupidity and negligence, I shall have to carry on with my activities as best I can. I shall require the exclusive use of this room, as well as that drafty sewer that you call a library. I want no one to come in or out while I am in this room.
But we have to go up the stairs to get to our rooms, Mr. Whiteside.
Why, isn't there a back entrance?
Why, yes.
Then use that. Now, I shall also require a room for my secretary, Miss Cutler. I sleep until noon, and I must have complete quiet in the house until this hour. Additionally, I will have a great number of incoming and outgoing calls while I am here, so please do not use the telephone. There will be 5 for lunch today. Where is the cook?
Mr. Whiteside, if I could just interrupt for one moment.
You may not, sir. Will you take your clammy hands off my chair? You have the touch of a sex-starved cobra.
Oh, my.
Now, will you all leave quietly, or must I ask my secretary to pass amongst you with a baseball bat?
Well, we'll be calling you, Daisy. Oh, mustn't use the phone.
Now you see here, Mr. Whiteside.
We have nothing to discuss, sir. Considering this damage I've suffered at your hands, I'm asking very little. Good day.
Daisy, I'll call you from the office.
Not on this phone, please.
Oh!
Here is the menu for lunch.
But I've already ordered lunch.
It'll be brought upstairs to you on a tray. I'm using the dining room for my guests. Where are those cigarettes?
My son is gone for them, and I don't know why he... Right here, Sarah, here's the menu for lunch. I'll have mine upstairs on the tray.
Young lady, I cannot stand indecision. Will you either come in this room or go out of it?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Whiteside. Sorry it was so long. I had to go to 3 different stores.
You were gone long enough to have a baby. Good God, is there a man who suffers as I do from the gross inadequacies of the human race? What are you doing? Go in there and read the life of Florence Nightingale and learn how unfitted you are for your chosen profession.
Well, I think I can leave you in Miss Cutler's capable hands. Shall I check in on you this afternoon?
Oh, if you do, I shall spit right in your eye.
What a sense of humor you writers have. You know, it hardly bears mentioning, but I've done a little writing myself about my medical experiences.
Oh, you're right. It's hardly worth mentioning.
Now, would it trouble you too much to take a glance at it while you're here?
Oh, I'm trapped.
As a matter of fact, I have a copy of it with me right here. The Experiences of a Medical Practitioner, or 40 Years an Ohio Doctor.
Oh, I shall waste no time in reading it.
Well, I hope you like it. Now, I'll check in on you tomorrow. Keep that hip quiet, and don't forget the little pills.
Maggie. Take 40 years below the navel or whatever it's called.
Well, I must say you have certainly behaved with all of your accustomed grace and
Oh,
charm.
now look here, kitten. I'm in no mood to discuss my behavior, good or bad. I did not ask to cross this cheerless threshold. I was hounded and badgered into it. Now I find myself, after 2 weeks of racking pain, of being accused of behaving without charm. What would you have me do, Kiss them?
Very well, Sherry. After 10 years, I should have known better than to try to do anything about your manners. But when I finally give up this job, I may write a book about it all. Through the years with Prince Charming.
Now look, you're tied to me with an umbilical cord of piano wire. Now, if we may dismiss the subject of my charm, for which, incidentally, I'm paid $1,500 per appearance, finally, can we go to work,
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh. Hey. My name is Harriet Stanley, and I know you are Sheridan Whiteside. I saw this holly framed green against the pine trees, and I remembered what you had written about Tess and Jude the Obscure. It was the nicest present I could bring you.
Good God, what was that?
That was Mr. Stanley's sister, Harriet. I've talked to her a few times. She's quite strange.
Strange? She's right out of the Hounds of the Baskerville. You know I've seen that face somewhere before.
Nonsense, you couldn't have.
Let's get back to work. Here, press this in the doctor's book. I see no reason why I should endorse maiden-form procedures.
Here are some telegrams.
Oh, good. What date is this?
December 10th.
Ah, send a letter to Columbia Broadcasting. You may schedule my Christmas Eve broadcast from the New York studios, as I shall return east instead of proceeding to Hollywood. Stop. For special New Year's Eve broadcasts, my guests will be Yasha Heifetz, Catherine Cornell, Schiaparelli, The Lunts, with Dr. Alexis Carroll and Haley Selassie on shortwave from England. Whiteside.
Are you sure you'll be all right by Christmas, Sherry?
Oh, of course I will. Send a letter to Mahatma Gandhi, Bombay, India. Dear Boo-Boo, schedule changed. Will you meet me in Calcutta, July 12th? Dinner at 8:30. Whiteside. Send a cable to not Columbia Broadcasting, send a cable to the editor of the Atlantic Monthly. Do not worry, Stinky. Copy will arrive. Whiteside. Oh, Arturo Toscanini. Now, where is he?
I'll find him.
All right, I'm counting on you. January 4th, my annual benefit, dinner for paroled convicts. As you know, this is a very worthy cause and one that is very close to my heart. Will you have a quiet supper with me and Ethel Barrymore afterwards? Whiteside. Oh, good God. If that's for Mrs. Stanley, tell them she's too drunk to talk.
Hello? What, Hollywood?
Well, if it's Goldwyn, hang up.
Hello, Banjo.
Oh, Banjo? Oh, give me that phone.
Banjo, you old so-and-so. How are you, darling?
Oh, come on, give me that.
Shut up, Sherry. Are you coming east, Banjo? I miss you.
Come on, stop dribbling and give me the phone.
Oh, he's going to live. In fact, he's screaming at me now.
Oh.
Here he is.
Banjo! Oh, how are you, you fawns behind? And what are you giving me for Christmas? Oh, well, what news, Banjo, my boy? Oh, how's the picture coming? Oh, how are Wacko and Sloppo? No, I'm perfectly all right. Yes, I'm in very good hands. I've got the best horse doctor in town. But what about you? Are you having any fun? Mm-hmm. Oh, playing any cribbage? You what? Well, don't take all his money, old man. Save a little bit for me. Your what? You're having your portrait painted by who? Milt Gross? Not really. Oh, well, listen. I can't waste all my time talking to Hollywood riffraff. Kiss Luella Parsons for me. Goodbye. Oh, he took $1,400 from Sam Goldwyn in cribbage last night, and when they were all done, Sam said, "Banjo, I'll never play garbage with you again."
What's all this about us having his portrait painted?
Oh, yes, Salvador Dali. That's all that face of his needs. A surrealist to paint it. Oh, what do you want now, Miss Bedpan?
It's your pills. One every 45 minutes.
Now, where were we?
Here's a cable from that dear friend of yours, Lorraine Sheldon.
Oh, let me see it.
Sherry, my poor sweet lamb, have been in Scotland on a shooting party with Lord and Lady Cunard and only just heard of your poor sweet hit. I'm down here in Surrey with Lord Bottomley, sailing Wednesday on the Normandy, and cannot wait to see my poor sweet Sherry. Your blossom girl, Lorraine. In the words of the master, I may vomit.
Oh, don't be bitter, kitten, just because Lorraine is more beautiful than you are.
Lorraine Sheldon is a very fair example of that small but vicious circle you move in.
Oh, pure sex jealousy if I ever saw it. Oh, give me those.
Lorraine Sheldon, Lord Bottomley, my Aunt Fanny.
Oh, it's from Destiny's Tot.
England's little brother boy.
Dear baby's breath, what is this I hear about a fractured hip and some bordello brawl? Does this mean our Hollywood Christmas party is off? Finish the new play in Pago Pago and it's superb. Myself and a ukulele leave Honolulu tomorrow in that order. By the way, the Sultan of Zanzibar wants to meet Ginger Rogers. Let's face it, Oscar Wilde.
He does travel, doesn't he? You know, it would be nice if the world went around Beverly Carlton for a change.
Well, he's in Hollywood next week. Why couldn't he stop over on his way to New York? Send a cable. Beverly Carlton, Royal Hawaiian Hotel, Honolulu. If these people intend to have their friends using the front door...
What do you want them to do, use a rope ladder?
I will not have a lot of mildewed pus bags coming in and out while I am here.
Ah, good morning, John.
Good morning, Mr. Go away! The Stanleys have been arrested for false imprisonment. There's nobody home.
Good morning, Mr. Whiteside. I'm Jefferson with the Massalia Journal.
Get rid of him.
I'm sorry, Mr. Whiteside has seen no one.
Really? Well, Mr. Whiteside seems to be sitting up and taking notice.
I'm afraid he's not taking notice of the Massalia Journal. Do you mind?
You know, if I'm gonna be insulted, I'd like it to be by Mr. Whiteside himself. I never did like carbon copies.
Touche if I ever heard one. And in Massalia too, Maggie dear.
Will you please leave?
How about an interview, Mr. Whiteside?
I never give them. Go away.
Mr. Whiteside, if I don't get this interview, I lose my job.
Ooh, that would be quite all right with me.
But you don't mean that, Mr. Whiteside. You were a newspaperman yourself. You know how editors are. Well, mine's the toughest that ever lived.
No. You won't get around me that way. If you don't like him, get off the paper.
Yes, but I happen to think it's a good paper. William Allen White could have gotten out of Emporia, but he didn't.
You have the effrontery, in my presence, to compare yourself with William Allen White?
Only in the sense that White stayed in Emporia, and I want to stay here and say what I want to say.
Such as what?
Well, you know, I couldn't put it into words for you, Mr. Whiteside. It'd sound like an awful lot of hooey, but, well, the Journal was my father's paper. It's kind of a sentimental point with me, the Journal. I'd like to carry on where he left off.
I see. So you own the paper, eh?
That's right.
So this terrifying editor, this dreaded journalistic apocalypse is you, yourself?
In a word, yes.
I see.
In the future, Sherry, let me know when you don't want to talk to people. I'll usher them right in.
Young man, come over here. I suppose you've written that novel,
No, I've written that play.
Well, I don't want to talk about it. Oh, do these old eyes see a box of goodies over there? Bring them to me, will you?
But you see, Mr. Whiteside, the trouble is that your being here falls under the heading of news. Practically the biggest news since the Depression. So I've just got to get a story.
Oh,
pecan
my,
butternut
Mr.
fudge.
Whiteside, you mustn't eat candy. It's very bad for you.
My great Aunt Jennifer ate a box of candy every day of her life, and she lived to be 102. When she had been dead for 3 days, she looked better than you do now. Now, what were you saying, old fellow? You were about to say?
I can at least report to my readers that chivalry's not dead.
No, we won't discuss it. Well, now that you've won me over with your pretty ways, what do you want to talk about?
Well, how about a brief talk on the history of famous murders? You're an authority on murder as a fine art.
Oh, my dear boy, when I talk about murder, I get paid for it. I made more money off the Snyder Gray case than the lawyers did, so don't you expect to get it for free?
Well then, how about... Oh, what do you think of Massalia? How long you going to be staying? Where are you going? Things like that.
Oh, very well. A, Massalia is a town of irresistible charm. B, I cannot wait to get out of it. C, I go from here to Crockfield for my semi-annual visit to the Crockfield home for paroled convicts. From there, I go to New York. Have you ever been to Crockfield, Jefferson?
No, I haven't. I always meant to.
Well, as a newspaper man, you really ought to go instead of wasting your time here with me. Did you ever hear how Crockfield started?
Why, no, I didn't.
Oh. Sit down, Jefferson. Sit down and make yourself comfortable. It's one of the most engaging and endearing stories of our generation. One misty St. Valentine's Eve. The year was 1901. A little old lady who had given her name to an era, Victoria, lie dying in Windsor Castle. Maud Adams had not yet caused every young heart to soar as she tripped across the stage as Peter Pan. Irving Berlin had not yet written the first notes of a ragtime rigadoon that was to set the nation's feet a-tapping. And Elias P. Crockfield was just emerging from the state penitentiary. Embittered, destitute, cruel of heart, he wandered this St. Valentine's Eve into a little church. But there was no godliness in his heart that night. There was no prayer upon his lips. In the faltering twilight, Elias P. Crockfield made his way towards the poor box. With calloused fingers, he ripped open this poignant testimony of a simple people's faith. Greedily, he clutched at the few pitiful coins within, and then a child's wavering treble broke the twilight stillness. "Please, Mr. Man," said a little girl's voice, "won't you be my Valentine?" Well, Elias P. Crockfield turned, and there before him stood a bewitching creature of 5, her yellow curls cascading over her shoulders like a golden Niagara, and in her tiny, outstretched hand, a humble Valentine. In that one crystal moment, a sealed door opened in the heart of Elias P. Crockfield, and in his mind was born an idea. 25 years later, 3,000 ruddy-cheeked convicts were gambooling across the wide lawns of Crockfield Home. They were frolicking in the cool depths of its swimming pool and broadcasting with their own symphony orchestra from their own radio station. Elias P. Crockfield has long since gone to his maker, but the little girl of the golden curls, now grown into a lovely womanhood, is known as the Angel of Crockfield, for she is the wife of the warden. And in the main hall of Crockfield, between a Rembrandt and an El Greco, there hangs in a simple frame a humble Valentine.
And in the men's washroom every Christmas Eve, the ghost of Elias P. Crockfield appears in one of the booths. Will you sign this, please?
This aging debutante, Mr. Jefferson, I retain in my employ only because she is the sole support of her two-headed sister.
I understand. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Whiteside. You've been very kind. Oh, by the way, I'm a cribbage player if you need one while you're here.
Ooh, that's fine. How much can you afford to lose?
I usually win.
Well, we won't discuss it.
Shaddy!
Oh, Mads! Mads, you incredible beetlehound! What are you doing here?
I explain, Shaddy. First, I kiss my little Maggie.
Nance, darling, what a wonderful surprise.
Jefferson, you are standing in the presence of Professor Adolf Metz, the world's foremost authority on insect life.
Oh, how do you do? Oh, how do you do?
Well, Shaddy.
Ah, Metz, stop looking at me adoringly and tell me why you're here.
You are sick, Shaddy. I come to cheer you.
Jefferson, he once lived for 2 years in a cave with nothing but plant lice. He rates 3 pages in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Don't you, my little hookworm?
Please, Shaddy, you flatter me. I bring you a present, but while it waits the hours. Please. I said to my students, boys and girls, I want to make a present for my sick friend, Jonathan Whiteside. So you know what we did? We made for you a community of Paraplaneta Americana, commonly known as the American cockroach. Behold, Shaddy, Rose City. Inside here, there are 10,000 cockroaches.
10,000 cockroaches.
Sarah, guess what? And in 1 week, Shaddy, if all goes well, there will be 50,000.
If all goes well, what can go wrong? They're in there, aren't they?
Quiet, please.
You can watch them live out their entire lives. Look, that is the maternity center. This is fascinating. They do everything that human beings do.
Well,
Please, Maggie, these are my cockroaches.
sorry.
And with these earphones, Shaddy, you listen to the mating calls. There are microphones down there. Listen.
Oh. Oh my, how long has this been going on?
Aha! Paraplaneta Americana. There are cockroaches in this house.
I beg your pardon. Mr. Whiteside, I don't know who this man is, but I'm not going to stand here.
Then go upstairs.
Oh,
That must be my luncheon guests. That's your staying for the day, of course.
Certainly.
Jefferson, stay for lunch.
Glad to.
Maggie, tell them there'll be 2 more. Come in, gentlemen. Come in, Baker. Jefferson.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Here are the fruits of that humble Valentine. These men, now entering the final months of their prison sentences, have elected to enter the ivy-covered walls of Crockfield Home. They've come here today to learn from me a little of its tradition. Gentlemen, I envy you your great adventure. You're Michelson, aren't you?
Yeah.
Butcher shop murders? Oh, the last fellow, Jefferson, is Henderson, the hatted fiend. He always chopped them up in a salad bowl, remember?
Oh, yes.
Lunch is ready, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, good. Go right in, gentlemen.
Can I help you?
Oh, thank you. Oh, we're having chicken livers tetrazzini and cherries jubilee for desserts. I hope every little tummy is a flutter with gastric juices. Close the doors, John. We don't want a lot of people prying in on their betters.
Mr. Whiteside?
I was dreaming of Lillian Russell, and I awake to find you.
Your medicine, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh. What time is it?
6 o'clock.
And, where's Miss Cutler?
She went out.
Out?
Yes, with Mr. Jefferson.
Could I turn up the lights a little bit, Mr. Whiteside?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's fine, John.
And Sarah's got something for you. She made it special.
Oh, she has? Oh, where is she? My souffle queen!
Here I am, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, she walks in beauty like the night, and in her deft hands is the art of Michelangelo. Oh, let me taste the new goodie. Oh, poetry. Sheer poetry.
Put a touch of absinthe in the dough. Do you really like it?
Oh, ambrosia.
And I got you your terrapin Maryland for dinner.
I have known of 3 great cooks in my time. The Khedive of Egypt has one, my great aunt Jennifer another, and the third, Sarah, is you.
Oh, Mr. Whiteside.
Tell me, how would you like to come to New York and work for me? You and your father?
Why, Mr. Whiteside.
Sarah?
Why, it almost takes my breath away.
It's awfully wonderful of you, Mr. Whiteside, but what would we say to Mr. and Mrs. Stanley?
Simply goodbye.
Oh, but they wouldn't be very happy, would they? They've been very kind to us.
Well, if they ever come to New York, we can have them for dinner, as long as I'm not in town. Now, you two run along and think it over, Oh, and just keep this between us, Our little secrets. Oh, and you put plenty of sherry in that terrapin. Miss Preen? Miss Preen!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What have you got in there anyway, a sailor?
I was just washing my hands.
What time did Miss Cutler go out?
Oh, a couple hours ago.
And Mr. Jefferson called for her?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. All right, go back to your sex life.
Dear Mr. Whiteside, may I show you a few mementos of the past? I somehow feel you would love them as I do.
I'd be delighted. Oh, now, Miss Stanley, haven't we met somewhere before?
No, it's... I would certainly remember that. It would have been one of my cherished memories. Like these. Look. Here I am with my first sweetheart underneath our beechwood trees. I was 8 and he was 10. Oh, I shall never forget him. What wonderful times we had. It was wonderful.
Oh, but I tell you I'm going to!
No, Ernest, please.
Coming.
Oh.
Ernest, please.
I'll come back.
Whiteside, I want to talk to you right now. I don't care whether you're busy or not. This is the last straw. Yes. Do you know what this is? This is a telephone bill for $787.34. Oklahoma City, Calcutta, Rome, Australia, Hollywood, London, New York, New York, New York, New York. Now, Mr. Whiteside, I understand that you are a very distinguished man of letters.
Yes, of course, we both do.
But, that said, this past week we have not been able to call our souls our own. You know, we haven't had a meal in the dining room in weeks. I have to tiptoe out of this house in the mornings.
Oh.
And then there's those people that you invited in. I came down to the dining room and I saw those two awful butcher shop murders and that man that was putting cockroaches in the kitchen.
But Ernest, they just escaped.
That's not the point. And then yesterday I went into my bathroom and I bumped into those 22 Chinese students that you invited here, Mr. Whiteside.
Are you quite finished?
No, I am not. And then I went down to the cellar. I tripped over that blasted octopus that William Beatty sent you. I will not stand for it, Mr. Whiteside. Oh, God, Daisy, stop that incessant bawling. That is all I have to say, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, and quite enough, I should think. May I remind you again, Mr. Stanley, that I am not a willing guest in this house. My doctors tell me that I must remain quiet for at least another 10 days, after which time I shall be out of here so fast that the wind will knock you over, I hope. If, however, you insist on my leaving before that, thereby causing me to suffer a relapse, I shall sue you for each additional day that I remain inactive, which, I assure you, will amount to quite a tidy sum.
This is outrageous!
Now, as for the details of your petty complaints, those 22 Chinese students came here straight from the White House, where I assure you they used the bathroom too.
Mr. Whiteside, my husband didn't.
Yes, I meant every word of it, Mr. Whiteside.
Now, there is one point you make in which I see some slight justice.
Oh?
I do not expect you to pay for my telephone calls, and I shall see to it that restitution is made. Can you provide me with an exact amount?
Oh, I certainly can, and I certainly will.
Good. I shall instruct my attorneys to deduct it from the $150,000 I'm suing you for.
Now, Ernest, please.
And I'll thank you not to trip over that octopus that once belonged to Chancey Depew.
I'll Chancey Depew you.
You mustn't get excited, Ernest. Mr. Whiteside is a guest here.
Oh, confound it.
Get me the Massalia Journal, please. No, I don't know the number. Hello, Journal. Is a Mr. Jefferson in, please? No, he's not, Well, when do you expect him back? No message. Now come over here, you two. Now come on, I'm not going to bite you. Now look, I am by nature a gracious and charming person. If I veer at it, it is always on the side of kindness and amiability. I have been observing you two this past week, and you seem to me to be two extremely likable young people. I'm afraid that when we first met, I was definitely unpleasant to you, and for that, I'm sorry. But I would appreciate if in the future you did not regard me like something out of Edgar Allan Poe, Now, how do you like my new tie?
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. This makes things much pleasanter. And I think your new tie is very pretty.
Well, now that we're on speaking terms, Mr. Whiteside, I don't mind telling you I've been admiring all of your ties.
Oh, well, do you like this one?
I certainly do.
It's yours.
Thank you.
Really, this curious legend that I'm a difficult person is pure fabrication. Oh, ice skating, eh? I used to cut figure eights myself, arm in arm with Betsy Ross, waving the flag behind us.
It was wonderful on the ice today. Miss Cutler and Mr. Jefferson were there too.
Maggie? Ice skating?
Oh, yes. She's good, too. I got a marvelous picture of her.
Were they still there when you left?
I think so.
Yes, they were.
Say, Mr. Whiteside, mind if I get a picture of you? I'd love to have one.
Oh, very well. Would you like my profile?
I'm afraid you're done for, Mr. Whiteside. My brother is a camera thief.
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. I got a great one.
Hi, Miss Cutler.
Oh, hello, Miss Cutler.
Hello there. Good evening, Sherry. Really, Sherry, you've got this room looking like an old parrot cage. Did you nap while I was out? What's the matter, dear? Cat run away with your tongue?
Don't you look at me with those great cow eyes, you set-starved old maid. Where have you been all afternoon? Alley-catting around with Bert Jefferson?
Sherry, Bert read his play to me this afternoon. It's superb. It isn't just that play written by a newspaper man, it's superb. I want you to read it tonight. It just cries out for Cornell. Will you send it to her, Sherry? And will you read it tonight?
No, I will not read it tonight, nor any other night. And while we're on the subject of Mr. Jefferson, maybe you'd like to ask him if he wouldn't mind paying your salary, since he seems to take up all of your time.
Oh, come now, Sherry. It isn't as bad as that.
Oh, I've not even been able to reach you, not knowing what haylofts you frequent.
Oh, stop behaving like a spoiled child, Sherry.
Oh, don't you take that tone with me, you flea-bitten Cleopatra. I am sick and tired of your sneaking out of this house every time my back is turned like some lovesick high school girl.
Well, Sherry, I'm afraid you've hit the nail on the head.
Oh, stop acting like Zazu Pitts and explain yourself.
I'll make it quick, Sherry. I'm in love.
Nonsense. This is merely delayed puberty.
No, Sherry, I'm afraid this is it. You're going to lose a very excellent secretary.
You are out of your mind.
Yes, I think I am a little. But I'm a girl who's waited a long time for this to happen, and now it has. Mr. Jefferson doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to try my darndest to marry him.
Oh, is that all?
Yes, except that, well, I suppose this is what might be called my resignation. As soon as you've got someone else.
Now you listen to me, Maggie. We have been together a long time. You are indispensable to me, but I think I am unselfish enough not to let that stand in the way where your happiness is concerned. Because whether you know it or not, I have a deep affection for you.
I know that, Sherry.
That being said, I will not stand by and allow you to make a fool of yourself.
I'm not, Sherry.
Oh, but you are, my dear. You're behaving like a Booth Tarkington heroine. I cannot believe that a girl who for the past 10 years has had the great of the world served up to her on a platter, well, I can't believe that it's anything but a kind of temporary insanity when she is swept off her feet in 7 days by some second-rate, small-town newspaperman.
Sherry, I can't explain what's happened. I can only tell you that it's so. It's hard for me to believe, too, Sherry. Here I am, a hard-bitten old cynic, behaving like True Story magazine and liking it, discovering the moon, and ice skating. I keep laughing to myself all the time, but there it is. What can I do about it, Sherry? I'm in love.
I see. No. No. We're leaving here tomorrow. Hip or no hip, we're leaving here tomorrow. I don't care if I fracture the other one. You get me a train schedule and start packing. I'll pull you out of this, Miss Stardust. I'll pull the ants out of those moonlit pants.
It's no good, Sherry. It's no good. I'd be back on the next Streamline train.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Can you imagine yourself, the wife of the editor of the Massalia Journal, having a quiet evening at home with Mr. and Mrs. Stanley and Mr. and Mrs. Poopface and the Book of the Month Club?
Sherry, I've had 10 years of the great figures of our time, And don't think I'm not grateful to you for it. I've loved every minute of it. They've been wonderful years, Sherry. Gay and stimulating. I don't think anyone has ever had the fun we've had, but a girl can't laugh all the time, Sherry. There comes a time when she wants Bert Jefferson. You don't know Bert, Sherry. He's gentle and he's unassuming and, well, I love him, that's all.
I see. Well, I remain completely unconvinced. You are drugging yourself into this Joan Crawford fantasy. And before you become completely anesthetized to it, I shall do everything in my power to pull you out of it.
Now listen to me, Whiteside. I know you. Lay off. I know what a devil you can be. I've seen you do it to other people, but don't you dare do it to me. Don't drug yourself into the idea that all you're thinking of is my happiness. You're thinking of yourself a little bit too, and all those months of breaking in somebody new. I've seen you in a passion before, when your life has been disrupted and you couldn't dine in Calcutta on July 12th with Boo-Boo. Well, that's too bad, but there it is. I'm going to marry Bert, if he'll have me, and don't you dare try any of your tricks. I'm onto every one of them. So lay off. That's my message to you, Bighorn Fauntleroy.
Maggie! Margaret Cutler! Hello, operator. Long distance, please. I'd like to place a transatlantic call. Transatlantic operator. This is Miss Salia 142. I'd like to speak to a Miss Lorraine Sheridan. That's Sheldon. She's on the Normandy. It sailed from Southampton day before yesterday. I see. Will this take long? All right. My name is Whiteside. Thank you.
Good evening, John. Good evening. And good evening, Mr. Whiteside.
Come back tomorrow, Doctor. I'm busy.
No. Now, what is the best news I could possibly give you?
Oh, that you have hydrophobia.
No. Mr. Whiteside, you are a well man. You can get up and walk now. Why, you can leave here tomorrow.
What do you mean?
Well, sir, I was looking at your x-rays this afternoon, and you know what? I was looking at the wrong x-rays. I was looking at old Miss Moffat's x-rays. You are perfectly, absolutely well.
What? Lower your voice, will you?
What's the matter? Aren't you pleased?
Well, I'm delighted, naturally. It's just that, well, this is a very unexpected bit of news, and it comes at a very curious time. Dr. Bradley? I have some excellent news for you as well. I've been reading your book, 40 Years...
In Ohio, Doctor, yes.
Yes, well, I consider it very close to being one of the great literary contributions of our time.
Mr. Whiteside!
Oh, yes. So strongly do I feel about it, Doctor, that I have a little proposition for you. Here and there, the book is just a little uneven, a little rough. So what I would like to do is stay here in Massalia and work on it with you.
Mr. Whiteside, I would be terribly honored.
Oh, yes. Well, there is just one difficulty. You see, if my lecture bureau or my radio sponsors were to learn that I am well, they would insist on my fulfilling my contracts, and I would be forced to leave Massalia. So therefore, you must not tell anyone, not anyone at all, that I am well.
I see.
Not even Miss Cutler, you understand?
No, I won't. I won't tell a soul. Not even my wife.
Now that's fine.
Mr. Whiteside, when can we get to work on my book? Tonight? I have one patient that's dying, and after that I'm perfectly fine.
Tomorrow morning, Doctor. Would you excuse me? This is a very personal call. Yes, this is Whiteside on the phone. Put them through. Tomorrow morning, Doctor.
Tomorrow morning it is. I'll be very honored to work with you, Mr. Whiteside. You've made me very proud.
Yes, very proud. Yes, this is Whiteside. Oh, hello. Hello, is this my Blossom girl? How are you, my dear? Oh, no, I'm all right. Yes, I'm still out here. Now, the reindeer, when do you land in New York? Tuesday? That's fine. Now listen closely, my pet. I've great news for you. I've discovered a wonderful play with an enchanting part in it for you. Cornell would give her eye teeth to play it, but I think I can get it for you. Oh, no, wait, I'm telling you. The author is a young newspaperman here in town. Of course, he wants Cornell, but I think if you jump on a train and get out here, you could swing it if you play your cards right. Yes, no, it just takes a little doing, and you're the girl that can do it. No, he's young and very attractive, and just your dish, my dear. Yes, isn't that exciting, my pet? Now listen, don't send me any messages. Just get on a train and arrive. Oh, there's no need to thank me, my darling. It's perfectly all right. Yes, all right. Now, you have a nice trip and hurry on out here. Oh, and goodbye to you, my Blossom. Oh, good evening, Miss Preen. My God, you're looking ravishing this evening.
Sherry, I'm sorry for what I said before. I'm afraid I was a little unjust.
Ooh, that's all right, my dear. We all lose our tempers every now and again.
I promised to have dinner with Bert and go to a movie, but we'll come back here and play cribbage with you instead.
Ooh, that's fine.
See you soon, Sherry dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ooh, I's just a little rabbit in the sunshine. I's just a little rabbit in the rain. I nibble on my lettuce leaf all morning, and Lorraine, Lorraine, Lorraine.
Well, they're all under the tree, so I guess that's all they're gonna be.
Thank you, John. Why, I don't think I've ever seen so many Christmas presents. I can hardly wait to see what's in them.
When is he gonna open up all these gifts, Miss Cutler?
Well, John, you see, Christmas is Mr. Whiteside's personal property. He invented it, and it belongs to him. First thing tomorrow morning, Mr. Whiteside will open each and every present, and there will be the damnedest fuss you ever saw.
And look who he's got presents from. Shirley Temple, William Lyon Phelps, Billy Rose, Ethel Waters, Somerset Maugham. I can hardly wait for tomorrow. It certainly is wonderful. Mr. Whiteside's tree is so beautiful, too. Mr. and Mrs. Scaling had to put theirs in your bedroom, you know. They can hardly get undressed at night.
Good evening, John.
Good evening, Mr. Jackson. Merry Christmas.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, Maggie. Merry Christmas, Sarah.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Jefferson.
Ooh. Say, business is good, isn't it? My, what a weekly radio hour
They gave him a full year's supply of their product, cream of mush.
Ah, well, he'll give it right back to them over the air.
Wait until you hear tonight's broadcast, old fellow. It's so sticky I haven't been able to get it off my fingers since I copied it.
Oh, I'll bet. Look, I'll come clean. Under the influence of God knows what, I've just bought you a Christmas present.
Why, Mr. Jefferson, sir.
Only, I'd like you to take a look at it before I throw away my hard-earned money. Would you care to come downtown with me and take a look?
Bert, this is very sweet of you. I'm quite touched. What is it? I can't wait.
A 2-year subscription to Pick, Click, Look, and Listen. Say, you don't think I'm gonna tell you, do you? Just come down and see.
All right. Sherry, I'm going out for a few minutes with Horace Greeley. I won't be long.
Noel, Mr. W. How about some cribbage after your broadcast tonight?
No, I will not play cribbage with you, Klondike Harry. Where are you off to now, Madam Butterfly?
I've been given a Christmas present. Anything you want done downtown?
Oh yes, bring baby a lollipop. And what are you giving me for Christmas, Jefferson? I've enriched your feeble life far beyond your capacity to repay me.
Well, that's what I thought, Mr. Whiteside, so I'm not getting you anything.
Well, I see. Well, I was going to give you my old trust, but now I shan't. What time are those radio men coming, Maggie?
About 6:30. I'll be here. You've got to cut, Sherry. You're 4 minutes over. Oh, by the way, there's a wire here from Beverly Carlton.
Oh.
He doesn't know what train he can get out of Chicago, but he'll be here sometime this evening.
Oh, good. Is he staying overnight?
No, he has to get right out again. He's sailing Friday on the Queen Mary.
Damn. Think I could get a peek in the window and get a look at him. Beverly Carlton used to be one of my heroes.
Used to be, you ink-stained hack. Beverly Carlton is the single greatest talent in the English theater today. Oh, take this illiterate numbskull out of my sight, Maggie, and don't you bring him back.
Yes, sir, Mr. Whiteside, sir. I won't get back until Beverly Carlton gets here.
Where are we going, Bert? I want to know what you bought me. I'm like a 10-year-old kid.
Say, you look like a 10-year-old kid, Maggie. That.
Thank you.
Get me the Mansion House, please. Ah, hello, Mansion House. Tell me, has a Miss Lorraine Sheldon arrived yet? Yes, that's right, Lorraine Sheldon from New York. No, she hasn't, before you enter a room.
Well, there's no door here. Besides, I wasn't coming into the room, I was going out.
Miss Pree, you are obviously in this room. That's true, isn't it?
Well, yes,
Therefore, you came in. Hereafter, please knock.
Mr. Whiteside, there's an expressman with a crate. I told him to come through the kitchen.
Oh, that's fine, John.
Okay, this way. Don't scrape the walls. This way. Come on. Over here. Over here. Bring it over here. Seems to be some kind of animals.
I'll say it's animals. We had to feed them at 7 o'clock this morning.
Well, who's it from, John?
Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
Oh!
Say!
Bring it over here! Bring it over here! Oh, why they're penguins! 2, 3, 4 little penguins. Hello, my pretties!
Directions for feeding was here on the top. There's a couple of loose slats here.
To be fed only whale blubber, eels, and cracked lobsters.
We gave them Coca-Cola this morning. They liked it.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, they make the most enchanting companions, don't they, John? Oh, I want these put in the library with me. Take them in there right away, would you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and you better tell Sarah to order a couple of dozen lobsters.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't suppose there's any whale blubber in this town.
Good evening.
Yes, there is.
The door was open, so Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You don't have to know if eels are in season, do you, Doctor?
I loosened a couple of those slats. They seemed awfully crowded.
Oh, that's fine, John, and never mind. I was a fool to ask you.
Well, Mr. Whiteside.
I'm sorry you've come now, Doctor, but I have to do my yogi exercises.
Mr. Whiteside, it's been a week. We haven't done anything on my book. When can we get to work on my book? You think maybe we'll have some time to... Oh, good evening, Mr. Green.
Good evening, Dr. Whiteside. Dr. Bradley. Dr. Bradley.
Yes.
Maybe I'm not feeling well, but I was in the library just now and I thought I saw a penguin with a thermometer in his mouth.
What's this? Have those penguins got it out of their crates?
Penguins? Did you say penguins?
Yes, that's right. Dr. Bradley, would you go in there, please, and capture them and put them back in their crate? There are 4 of them.
Capture the penguins?
Yes.
Yes.
And Miss Preed, would you go in there and entertain them, please, until I come in?
Oh, the Christmas tree in the bedroom fell on Mr. Stanley. He's got the biggest bump on his forehead.
Why, isn't that too bad? Go on, Miss Preen. Go on, Doctor.
Mr. Whiteside, do you think perhaps we'll have some time this evening to look over my book and maybe do some work on it?
I don't know, Doctor. I'm busy now.
I'll just wait a little while.
Yes.
Wait a little while.
Yes. Well, hello, Dickie.
Hello, Mr. Whiteside.
Dr. Bradley is the greatest living argument for mercy killings. Well, Dickie, would you like a candid camera shot at my left nostril this evening?
I'm all stocked up on those, Mr. Whiteside. Have you got a second to look at some of the new ones I've taken?
Oh, why, I certainly have. Oh, why, these are splendid, Richard. Why, there's a real artistry to them. Why, these are as good as anything by Margaret Bork-White. I like all the things you've shown me. Oh, now this is the essence of photographic journalism.
Hey, I didn't know you were as good as all that. I just like to take pictures, that's all.
You know, Richard, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. You're not just a kid fooling with a camera anymore. These are good. This is what you ought to do. You ought to get out of here and do some of the things you've been telling me about. Get on a boat and just get off wherever it stops. Galveston, Mexico, Singapore. Work your way through and just take pictures. Millions of them. Terrible pictures. Wonderful pictures. Everything.
Say, wouldn't I like to, though? I've tried to dreaming of for years. If I could do that, I'd be the happiest guy in the whole wide world.
Why couldn't you do it? Why, if I were your age, I would do it like a shot.
Well, you know why. Dad.
Oh, Richard. Do you really want this more than anything else in the world?
I certainly do.
Well, then do it. up to you, Richard.
I guess it is. Well, thank you, Mr. Whiteside. You've been swell, and I'll never forget it.
Ah, righto, Richard.
June, are you coming upstairs?
Yes, in a minute.
Well, knock on my door, will you? I want to talk to you.
I will. Mr. Whiteside.
Ah, June, my lamb. You were too young to know about the Elwell murders, weren't you? Oh, completely fascinating. I have about 5 favorite murders, and the Elwell case is one of them. Would you like to hear about it?
Well, actually, Mr. Whiteside, I wanted to talk to you just for a minute. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, why certainly, my dear. Oh, I take it this is all about your young Lothario down at the factory?
Yes. I just can't seem to make Father understand. It's like talking to a blank wall. He won't meet him. He won't even talk about it. Sandy and I love each other, Mr. Whiteside. What are we going to do?
My dear, I would like to see this young man. I'd like to see him for myself.
Would you, Mr. Whiteside? He's outside. He's in the kitchen.
Oh, good. Well, bring him in.
Mr. Whiteside, he's a very sensitive boy. Will be nice to him, won't you?
Damn it, June. When would you learn that I am always kind and courteous? Now bring this idiot in.
Here he is, Mr. Whiteside. Here's Sandy.
How you do, sir?
Oh, how do you do? Young man, I've been hearing a great deal about you from June this past week. It seems, if I've been correctly informed, that you two babes in the woods have quietly gone out of your minds.
There's another word for it. It's called love.
Oh, well, you've come to the right place. Dr. Sheridan Whiteside. Broken hearts mended, brakes realigned, hamburgers. Go right ahead.
Well, if June has told you anything at all, Mr. Whiteside, you know the jam that we're in. You see, I work for the labor union, Mr. Whiteside. I'm an organizer. And I've been organizing the men at Mr. Stanley's factory. But Mr. Stanley's pretty sore about it, too.
I'll bet.
Did June tell you this already?
Yes, she did.
That being the case, Mr. Whiteside, I don't feel I have a right to influence June. You see, if she marries me, it means a definite break with the family. And I don't mean to bring that about. But the trouble is, Mr. Stanley is just so stubborn about it. He's so arbitrary. You know, I didn't do this just to spite him. We fell in love with each other. But Mr. Stanley behaves as though we're all a big plot. Like John L. Lewis sent me here just to marry his daughter.
He's tried to fire Sandy twice out at the factory, but he couldn't on account of the Wagner Act. Thank goodness.
He thinks I wrote that too.
He won't talk about it. He won't even talk to Sandy.
We've already been over that, Joe. Anyways, Mr. Whiteside, I got word this morning I'm needed in Chicago, and then I'm going to have to go on to Frisco from there, so you can see the jam that we're in.
Sandy's leaving tonight, Mr. Whiteside, and he'll probably be gone a year. We simply have to decide now.
Oh, my dear, this is absurdly simple. Why, it's no problem at all. Now, to my jaundiced eye, Oh, will you excuse me? This is a transatlantic call. Hello, yes? Yes, this is Whiteside. Who's calling? Oh, put him through! It's Walt Disney calling from Hollywood. Hello? Oh, hello, Walt. How's my little dash of genius, Oh, yes, old man, I'm still out here. All right. Yes, I hear it. It sounds just like static. Give me 10 seconds more, June. We've got it, old man. Yes, and Merry Christmas to you. Now tell me, is there any news in Hollywood? Oh, who's in lawn and tennis sweater these days? Oh, I see. Well, listen, old man, I've got to go, but don't you worry about Fantasia. Beethoven hasn't written a hit in years. Goodbye. Do you know what that was you just listened to?
Not really.
It was the voice of Donald Duck. Mr. Disney calls me every Christmas Eve. no matter where I am, so that I can hear it. 2 years ago, I was walking along the bottom of the ocean in a diving suit with William Beatty, but he got me. Now, where were we? Oh, yes! June, I like your young man. I have an unerring instinct about people. I've never been wrong. That's why I wanted to meet him. Whatever his beliefs are, he's entitled to them, and you shouldn't let anything stand in your way. Why, stripped of its externals, what does it come down to, Your father. And the idea of making him unhappy. Is that right?
Very unhappy.
Oh, that's not the point. Suppose your parents are unhappy. It's good for them. It develops their characters. Why look at me? I left home at the age of 4 and I haven't been back since. Oh, they hear me on the radio and that's enough for them.
So your advice is to go ahead then, Mr. Whiteside?
Oh, it is. Marry him tonight, June.
You mean it, Mr. Whiteside?
No, I mean you should marry King Kong. I didn't mean it. I wouldn't say it. What do you want me to do? Say it all over again?
Come along, Daisy.
Daddy.
Mr. Whiteside, I hope we're not intruding.
Oh, not at all, old man, not at all. It's Christmas after all. Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you. Would you like to come along with us, June? We're taking some presents over to the sisters.
No, thank you, Mother. I have some letters to write.
Why, Mr. Stanley, what happened to your forehead? Did you have an accident?
Accident? No, Mr. Whiteside. In fact, I've just taken up boxing lessons.
Surprise!
Damn it. Come along, Daisy.
Yes. Dear Mr. Whiteside, I've been trying all day to see you. To give you this.
Why, Miss Stanley, a Christmas present for me?
It's only a trifle, but I wanted you to have it. It's a picture of me as I used to be. Oh, don't open it until midnight, won't you?
Goodbye, Miss Stanley, and thank you.
This is the Stanley residence, isn't it? I've come to see Mr. Whiteside. Will you tell him Miss Sheldon is here?
Oh, Lorraine, my blossom girl!
Sherry, my sweet! Oh, you poor darling. Look at that poor, sweet, tortured face.
Oh.
Let me kiss it. Mwah, mwah. Oh, darling, how drawn you are. Sherry, my sweet, I want to cry.
Oh, all right, all right. You made a very nice entrance, my dear. Mwah. Now relax.
But Sherry, I've been so worried, and now seeing you in that chair.
Oh, this chair fits my fatty like nothing ever has. I feel better than I have in years, and my only concern is for news of the outside world. Now, you take off this skunk and tell me everything. How are you, my dear?
Oh, darling, I'm so relieved. You look absolutely wonderful. I haven't seen you look better in your life. Oh, my dear, I must look a wreck. I simply dashed through New York, didn't do a thing about Christmas, had Carnegie and had my hair done, and got right on the train. Oh, and the maid, Normandy, coming back. Oh, it was simply hectic. Fun, you know. but simply exhausting. Jock Whitney, Cary Grant, Dorothy DeFrazio. Too exhausting. Oh, and of course, London before that was so marvelous, my dear. Well, I never got to bed at all. Darling, I have so much to tell you, I don't know where to start.
Well, start with the dirt first, dear. That's what I want to hear.
Well, let me see. Sylvia Cartwright got thrown right out of Ciro's.
No.
It happened the night before I left. She was wearing one of those new cellophane dresses, and you could absolutely see Trafalgar Square. Oh, and Sir Harry Montrose, the page, you know, is suing his mother for disorderly conduct.
No.
Why, it's just shocked everyone. Oh, and before I forget, Anthony Eden says he's going to be on your New Year's broadcast.
Yes.
Oh, and Beatrice Lilly gave me a message for you. She says for you to take off 25 pounds right away and send it to her parcel post. She needs them.
Oh, well, I'll pack them in ice. But what about you? What about your love life? Oh, I don't believe for a moment you never got to bed at all, if you'll pardon the expression.
Sherry, darling, you're terrible.
No, but what about that splendid bit of English mutton, Lord Bottomley? Haven't you hooked him yet?
Sherry, please. Cedric is a very dear friend of mine.
Oh, now, Blossom, this is Sherry. Don't you try to pull the bedclothes over my eyes. You can't tell me you wouldn't like to be Lady Bottomley with £100,000 a year and 12 castles. By the way, has he had those teeth fixed yet? Every time I order Roquefort cheese, I think of those teeth that...
Oh, Sherry, really? Well, Cedric may not be brilliant, but he is rather sweet, poor lamb. And he's very fond of me. And he does represent the kind of English living that I like. Surrey and London for the season, shooting box in Scotland. Oh, and that lovely old castle in Wales.
Ooh.
Well, you were there, Sherry. You know what I mean.
Oh, I do indeed.
Well, really, Sherry, why not? If I can marry Cedric, I don't see why I shouldn't. Shall I tell you something, Sherry? I think, from something he said just before I sailed, that he's finally coming around to it. Oh, it was nothing definite, mind you, but don't be surprised if I am Lady Bottomley before too long.
Well, Lady Bottomley.
You.
However, Kansas City will be very surprised. Oh, but I will be a flower girl, and I'll give the groom an iron toothpick as a wedding present. Now, come on, let's have some more of your skullduggery.
Mr. White.
Well,
No, not now, I'm busy.
who's that?
Oh, he's fixing the plumbing. Now, come on, I've got some news.
Oh, but Sherry, what about this play? After all, I've come all the way from New York, even on Christmas Eve. Oh, I've been so excited since your phone call. Where is it? When can I read it?
Ooh, well, here's the situation. This young author, well, his name is Bert Jefferson. He gave me the play with the understanding that I take it to Kit Cornell.
Oh.
Now, it's a magnificent part, and God knows I would feel disloyal to Kit.
Sherry!
Well, come, there you are. Now look, I've done this much, the rest is up to you. He's young and very attractive. Just how you'll go persuading him, well, you know more about that than I do.
Darling, how could I ever thank you? Oh, does he know I'm coming, Mr. Jefferson?
Oh, no. You're just out here visiting me. You get him to take you to dinner and then work around to the play. And, oh, good God. I don't have to tell you how to do these things. How did you get all of those other pots?
Sherry. Well, I'll go get into something more attractive.
All right. Now, you run along and get into your working clothes. Then you come back here and you spend Christmas Eve with Sherry. All right. And then I'll have Mr. Jefferson on tap. Oh, by the way, I have a little surprise for you. Guess who's paying me a little flying visit tonight? Why, none other than your old friend and co-star, Beverly Carlton.
Beverly Carlton, really? I thought he was off being glamorous again, on a tramp steamer.
Oh, come now. You mustn't be bitter just because he got better notices than you.
Don't be silly, Sherry. I never read notices. I simply wouldn't care to act with him again, that's all. Oh, he's not staying here, is he? Oh, I hope not.
Temper, temper, temper. Oh, where did you get that diamond clip, dear? That's a new bit of loot, isn't it?
Haven't you seen this before?
Oh.
Well, Cedric gave it to me for his mother's birthday. She was simply furious. Now look, darling, I've got a taxi waiting. If I am going to get back here,
Sherry, what do you think? I've just been given the most beautiful...
Oh, hello, Maggie. I knew you must be around here somewhere. How are you, my dear?
Santa's been at work, my pet. Blossom girl just dropped in out of the blue and surprised us.
Hello, Lorraine.
Oh, who's that? Bert? Bert! Bert, come down here, Bert. Lorraine, this is Bert Jefferson, young newspaper man. Bert, Miss Lorraine Sheldon.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Sheldon?
How do you do? I didn't quite catch the name. Jefferson, is it?
That's right, pet.
Why, Mr. Jefferson, you don't look like a newspaper man. You don't look like a newspaper man at all.
Really? I thought it was written all over me in neon lights.
Oh, not at all. Well, I should have said you were I don't know, an aviator or an explorer or something. They all have that same kind of dash about them. Oh, I am simply enchanted with your town, Mr. Jefferson. It gives one such a warm, gracious feeling. Tell me, have you lived here all your life?
Oh, practically.
Oh, if you wish to hear the story of his life, Lorraine, kindly do so on your own time. Maggie and I have work to do. Now, get out of here, Jefferson. On your way, my Blossom. On your way.
He is the world's rudest man, isn't he? Oh, could I drop you? I'm going down to the mansion house, I think it's called.
Oh, why, thank you, but I've got my car. Oh, say, why don't I drop you?
Oh, would you? That would be lovely. We'll send a taxi off. See you later, Sherry. Bye, Maggie.
Bye, Maggie. Oh, I'm invited back for dinner, am I not?
Oh, yes. At Christmas time, I always feed the needy. Now, stop oozing out and get out.
Come on, Mr. Jefferson. I want to hear more about this charming little town. And I want to know a good deal about you, too.
Now, was there a copy of that broadcast around here somewhere? How much did you say they wanted out? 4 minutes?
That's right, 4 minutes. She's looking very well, isn't she?
What's that? Who?
The Countess de Pushover. Quite a surprise, wasn't it, her dropping in?
Oh, yes. Yes, it was. Now, get to work, Maggie. Get to work.
Why, she must have gone through New York like a dose of salts. How long is she going to stay?
Oh, I don't know. A few days. Now at this most joyous time of the year, when in the hearts of men... No, I can't cut that.
Isn't it curious? There was Lorraine, snug as a bug in somebody's bed on the Normandy.
Ere the Yuletide season pass.
Now, Sherry, dear, we will talk of it.
Now listen to me, Maggie. Just because an old friend of mine happens to come out here on Christmas to visit me doesn't mean that... Oh, I have a hunch that's Beverly. Run along now, Maggie, and see if it is. Go on, run! Run!
Magpie! Love and joy come to you, and a Merry Christmas too, and God send you a Happy New Year!
Oh, come over here, you Piccadilly pen pusher, and gaze upon a soul in agony.
Oh, don't tell me how you are, Sherry dear. I want none of the tiresome details. I've only a little time, so this conversation should be entirely about me. Now, what shall I tell you first? I know. I'll tell you how I glittered through the South Seas as a silver scimitar, and then how I frolicked through Zambesia while ravishing the Major General's daughter, and finishing a 3-act play at the same time. Magpie, you're the very flower of my middle age, and I love you oh so very much. Say something tender to me.
Beverly, darling.
Oh, that's my girl. Now, Sherry, my man, without going into the mountainous waves of self-pity, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, you presumptuous cockney. Now, how was the trip out? Wonderful?
Oh, it was fabulous. You know, I did a tremendous amount of work. By the way, did I happen to glimpse that little boudoir butterfly La Sheldon as I came up the driveway?
You did indeed. She's paying us a Christmas visit.
Oh, dear girl. Do you know they say she set fire to her mother? Of course, I don't believe it. Now, Sherry, my evil one, not only have I written the finest comedy since Moliere, but also the best review since my last one, and a little operetta that frightens me, for it's that good. And you know, I will play it for 8 weeks in London, and then 6 in New York, that's all. There'll be no matinees. And then I'm off to the Grecian Isles. And my dear Magpie, why not join me there? Why not desert this cannonball of fluff and come with me?
Beverly, dear, be careful. You're catching me at a good moment.
Now, how was Hollywood, Beverly? How long were you there?
3 unbelievable days. You know, I saw everyone, from Adrian to Zanuck. They came to me, portieres, as if to a shrine. And I was unbelievably charming and ruthlessly firm in refusing $7.5 million for just 2 minutes' work.
And what about Banjo? Did you see my wonderful Banjo in Hollywood?
Banjo. The little fellow, yes! You know, he gave a dinner for me. I arrived in my white silk and tails, only to be greeted at the door by 2 bewinged butlers, who then proceeded to quietly take off my trousers. I was then ushered into a room filled with the likes of Norma Shearer, Claudette Colbert, Aldous Huxley, among others. Dear, sweet, incomparable man, that unforgettable Benson, Banfield, Banjo, yes.
Oh.
Simply unforgettable.
Oh, I'll never forget that summer in Antibes when Banjo put a microphone in Lorraine's mattress and then played the record the next day at lunch.
You know, I remember that so well. Did you know that Lorraine left by the very next boat after that happened?
I wish Banjo were here now.
Oh. Magpie, is something wrong? Tell me, my dear, isn't Lorraine, is she being her own sweet, sick-making self again?
You wouldn't take her to the Grecian Islands with you, would you, Beverly?
Oh, say.
Oh, now. Lorraine is a charming person who has gallantly given up her own Christmas to spend it with me.
Oh. Do you know, I knew I had a little bit of dirt for a salt in it.
Mr. Weiss?
What? No! No! Go away!
I say, Sheriff, you kidnapped someone.
Yes, that was the Lindbergh. Now, is this something juicy?
Why, it's juicy as a pomegranate, I'd say. Here it is. That's it. Yes, what I have here is the latest report on the winter maneuvers of one Miss Lorraine Sheldon against the left flank, indeed all flanks, of one Lord Cedric Bottomley. Listen, Lorraine has just left us in a cloud of Chanel number 5. In her relentless pursuit of his lordship, she has paused only twice, once to change girdles and the other to check her oil. She has pursued him, panting from castle to castle, until Bottomley finally took refuge for several weekends in the gentleman's lavatory of the House of Lords. Oh, I say, practically no one's betting on the Derby this year, for we're all making bank on Lorraine. You know, she sailed off on the Normandy, but she would return on the Atlantic Clipper if Lord Bottomley so much as belches in her direction. Magpie, have you ever met Lord Bottomley?
No, I haven't.
Not very good shooting today, Rusty. Only 6 crabs, 4 pheasants, and the Duke and Sutherland.
Oh, that's Bottomley down to his very bottom.
Here I say, Terry, there was a ripping debate in the House of Lords. Old Basil gave a speech for 3 hours. And he did it at the end of it, he dropped dead on the floor.
You're making it up, Beverly. No one sounds like that.
No, it's so good, it's uncanny. Oh, damn it, Beverly. Why must you rush right out of here? I never see enough of you, you ungrateful muppet.
Oh, Sherry, more Sherry. I can only tell you that I changed trains twice at Chicago just so I could spend only 10 minutes with you and wish you a very, very happy Christmas. Happy Christmas, my lad. Happy Christmas, my little magpie.
Beverly.
Oh, and now I have time for just one magnificent little number. Why, it's the second number from my new review.
Oh, damn. Get rid of them, Maggie.
Hello? Oh, hello, Bert. Oh, well, just a minute. Beverly, would you talk to a newspaper man for just 2 minutes? I kind of promised him.
Magpie, I won't have time unless he's under this radio.
Oh, wait a minute. Would you see him at the station for just a minute before the train goes?
Yes, Magpie, for you.
Bert, go to the station and wait for him. He'll be there in a few minutes. Bye.
The stalls grow impatient, Beverly. Let's have this second-rate masterpiece.
Oh, yes, it's called What Am I to Do? Off from the nightfall, I think I might fall down from my perilous height. Deep in the heart of me, always a part of me, shimmering, glimmering light. Run, little lady, ere the shady shafts of time bound me with your winged desire, send you with your sultry fire, softly a fluid meets me, over and over the dawn that greets me, cherishing, so perishing, up to the stars I fly. To mine to do toward ending this sadness, this madness that's rending me through. The flowers of yesteryear are haunting me, taunting me, darling, for wanting you. What am I to say to warnings of sorrow when mornings tomorrow drinks the dew? Will I see the cosmic rits shattered and scattered to bits? What not am I to do?
Wonderful, Beverly.
Beverly, that's superb. Why, it's the best thing you've ever written.
Oh, no, Sherry, please. You must let me say that. It's the best thing I've ever written.
Oh, come in, Westcott.
Oh, Alex, eh? Oh, I won't have to hear you, thank God. I shall be on the train.
Mr. Westcott, will you go into that room? John, will you show them where to plug in?
Yes, this way, gentlemen.
This will never do, Sheriff.
Come on, Whiteside, say goodbye.
Huh? What? No, stop this nonsense.
Au revoir, Sherry. Very Merry Christmas to you.
Beverly, my lamb. Maggie, what the hell? I want to talk to Beverly.
You can kiss Beverly in London on July 12th.
But I will not be wheeled out of here like a baby that has to have its diaper changed.
Magpie, come, let's have a kiss.
Beverly, I want 1 minute. I must have it. You'll make the train. The station's a minute and a half from here.
Well, yes, Magpie. What's the matter?
Go away!
I'll be in here in the kitchen. Oh, Merry Christmas. Say, who is that man?
Never mind. Beverly, I'm in great trouble.
Oh, hi. Oh, what's the matter, Magpie?
I've fallen in love.
No.
Yes. For the first time in my life, Beverly, I'm in love. I can't tell you about it, there isn't time, but Sherry is trying to break it up. In his own fiendish way, he's doing everything he can to break it up.
Oh, flounder. But what's he doing?
Lorraine. He's brought Lorraine here to smash it up.
So it's somebody here in this town?
He's a newspaperman, the one you're going to see at the station, and he's written a play. I know Sherry must be using that as bait. You know Lorraine, she'll eat him up alive. You've got to help me, Beverly.
Of course, Magpie, but what would you have me do?
I've got to get Lorraine out of here. The further away, the better. And you can do it for me.
Tonight? But Magpie, I'm leaving tonight.
Miss Cutler, did you have a copy of the broadcast?
There's one on that table.
Oh, thank you. One of those penguins ate the original!
Penguins?
Here's what I want you to do.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's simply enchanting, and it screws both Lorraine and Sherry at the same time. Oh, you know, it's perfectly ingenious. I love it, and I shall do it up and down.
Oh, darling, the first baby will be named Beverly. You're wonderful. Oh.
Yes, of course I am. Magpie, come to Chisselwick on your honeymoon, and I shall put you up. Goodbye, my dear Magpie. How I love you! How I adore you! Oh, good heavens. Let me out of here. What am I to do? Let me out.
Should I straighten up the room a bit before the broadcast, Miss Cutler?
No, John, it isn't television, thank God. They only hear the liquid voice.
He really is something, that Mr. Whiteside. I mean, it's wonderful the way he finds so much time to do things.
Yes, he certainly sticks his nose into everything, John.
Miss Cutler, is the choir there yet?
Yes, they are, Mr. Westcott.
Miss June, where are you going? You going somewhere?
No, John. Mr. Whiteside isn't there?
Yes, he's getting ready to go on the radio.
Oh, John,
Where is he?
He's in there.
In the library?
Yes, he's busy.
Come on.
Oh, getting around here.
Thank you, John. Oh, hello, Maggie. Where's Sherry?
Inside working. He's broadcasting very soon.
Oh, of course, Christmas Eve. What a wonderful man Sheridan Whiteside is. You know, my dear, it must be an utter joy to work for somebody like Sherry.
Yes, he meets such interesting people. That's quite a gown, Lorraine. Going anywhere?
This? Oh, I just throw on anything at all. Oh, aren't you dressing for dinner?
No, just what meets the eye.
Who does your hair, Maggie?
A little French woman named Maggie Cutler comes in every morning.
You know, every time I see you, I keep thinking your hair could be so lovely. I've always wanted to get my hands on it.
I've always wanted to get mine on yours, Lorraine.
What, dear? Oh, by the way, when does Beverly get here? I'm not over anxious to meet him.
He's been and gone, Lorraine.
Really? Well, I'm very glad. Oh, but of course, you two are great friends, aren't you? You and Beverly.
Yes, we are. I think he's a wonderful person.
Oh, I suppose he is. But really, after the last time I finished acting with him, I was a perfect wreck. All during that tender love scene the critics thought was so magnificent. He kept dropping peanut shells down my dress. I wouldn't act with him again if I were starving.
Tell me, Lorraine, have you found a new play yet?
No, I haven't. Oh, there was a pile of manuscripts waiting for me in New York, but I just rushed right out here to Sherry.
Yes, it was wonderful of you, Lorraine, to drop everything that way and rush to Sherry's wheelchair.
Well, my dear, after all, what else has one in the world but friends?
That's what I always say.
I loved you and Gone with the Wind.
Everything okay?
Oh, yes, just fine.
How long is he going to be in there?
Not long. Did you know that Mr. Jefferson has written quite a good play? The young man that drove you to the hotel.
Oh, really? No. No, I didn't. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, isn't it?
They'll put a polish on my nails that I simply loathe. I don't suppose Elizabeth Arden has a branch in this town.
Not if she has any sense.
No. Oh well, I'll just bear it. Though it does depress me. Oh. Maggie, have you read this? Everybody on the boat was reading it, and I hear you simply can't put it down.
I put it down, right there. Hello? Yes. Yes, Miss Lorraine Sheldon. Yes, she's here. There's a transatlantic call coming through for you, Lorraine.
Transatlantic for me here? Why, what in the world?
It's London.
London? Hello? Hello? Cedric? Cedric, is this you? Why, Cedric, you darling. What a surprise. How did you know I was here? What? Darling, don't talk so fast, and then you won't stutter so. Yes, that's better. Yes, now I can hear you. Oh, very clearly. It's as though you're just around the corner. What? Darling! Cedric, dearest, would you wait just one moment? Maggie, would you mind? It's Lord Bottomley, a very personal call. Would you mind?
Oh, not at all.
Yes, dearest. Now tell me. Cedric, don't stutter so. Oh, please, don't be nervous. Oh, my dearest, sweet, oh, my darling. You don't know how I prayed for this every night on the boat. Darling, yes. Yes, 1,000 times yes. I'll take a plane right out of here and catch the next boat. Oh, darling. Yes. You have made me the happiest girl in the world. Goodbye. Goodbye, darling. Goodbye. Sherry! Sherry! Oh, Sherry. Do you know what just happened? Cedric just called from London. He's asked me to marry him.
What?
Oh, Sherry, think of it. At last. Oh, I've got to get right out of here and catch the next boat.
May I come in?
Maggie. Maggie, can I get a plane out of here right away? I simply have to catch the next boat to London. When is it? Do you know? What, is there a newspaper here?
The Queen Mary sails Friday. What's happened?
Maggie, the most wonderful thing in the world has happened. Lord Bottomley has asked me to marry him. Oh, Maggie.
Really? Well, what do you know?
Oh, isn't it wonderful? I'm so excited I can hardly think. Oh, Maggie, you've simply got to help me get right out of here.
I'd be delighted to, Lorraine.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Sherry, what's the matter with you? You haven't said a word. Why, you haven't even congratulated me.
Let me understand this, Lorraine. Am I to gather from your girlish squeals that you are about to throw your career into the ash can?
Oh, not at all.
I see.
Well, of course, I may not be able to play this season. Oh, but there'll be other seasons, Sherry.
I see. And everything goes into the ash can with it. Is that right?
But you couldn't expect me to.
Oh, don't try to explain, Lorraine. I understand all too well. And I also understand why Cornell remains the first actress of our theater.
Oh, this is wonderful. We're in luck, Lorraine. There's a plane out of Cleveland at 10:03. It takes about an hour to get there. Why, it all works out wonderfully, doesn't it, Sherry?
Ducky!
What's the number of that hotel I'm at? I've got to get my maid started packing.
Miss Alia 32.
Miss Alia 32, please. Oh, let's see. I sail Friday, 5-day boat. That means I ought to be in London by Wednesday night. A Mansion House. This is Miss Sheldon. That's right. Will you put me through to my maid?
Oh, look, Sherry, it's starting to snow. Isn't that wonderful, Sherry? Oh, I never felt more like Christmas in my life, don't you, Sherry, dear?
You shut your nasty little face.
Cosette. Now listen carefully, Cosette. We're leaving here by plane tonight and sailing Friday on the Queen Mary. I want you to start packing immediately, and I will call for you in about an hour. That's right. Now, I want you to send these cables for me. Have you got a pencil? All right. Now, the first one goes to Lord and Lady Cunard. Oh, you'll find all the numbers in my little book. It's in my dressing case. Lord and Lady Cunard, arriving Friday, Queen Mary. Cedric and I are being married immediately on arrival. I wanted you to be the first to know. Love, Lorraine. Now send it. What? Oh, thank you, Cosette. Thank you very much. Now, I want you to send the same message to Lady Astor, Lord Beaverbrook, and my mother in Kansas City. Got that? Now I want you to send a telegram to Hattie Carnegie, New York. Meet me, Sherry Netherlands, noon tomorrow. Bring sketches of bridal gown and wedding trousseau. Lorraine Sheldon. And then send a cable to Monsieur Pierre Cartier, Cartier's London. Will you hold in reserve for me the triple string of pearls I picked out in October? Cable me Queen Mary, Lorraine Sheldon. Now, have you got all that straight, Cosette? Good. That's fine. Now you'll have to rush, my dear, because I'll be at the hotel in about an hour. So be ready. Goodbye. Oh, thank goodness for Cosette. I just die without her. Oh, she is the world's most wonderful maid. Well, life certainly is full of surprises, isn't it? Why, who would have thought an hour ago I'd be on my way to London?
An hour ago? No, I certainly wouldn't have thought it an hour ago.
Oh, will you two stop dribbling? I have a violent headache.
Oh, Sherry, can I get you something?
Look here, Sherry, I'm sorry if I've offended you, but after all, my life is my own, and...
Hello, everybody! Say, do you know it's snowing outside? Going to have a real old-fashioned Christmas, huh?
Why don't you telephone your scoop to the New York Times?
First, Miss Sheldon has to catch a plane tonight from Cleveland. Can we drive her over, you and I?
Why, certainly. Sorry to see you go, Miss Sheldon. No bad news, I hope.
Oh, no, on the contrary. Good news, wonderful news.
Yes, indeed. Calls for a drink, I think. You're not being a very good host, Sherry. How about a bottle of champagne?
Oh, I can do better than that. How about I mix you up a Jefferson special, okay, Mr. Whiteside?
Yes, mix anything. Just, for God's sake, stop dribbling.
Oh, hey, has anybody admired my Christmas present yet, Maggie?
Oh dear, I forgot. Look, everybody, from Mr. Jefferson to me.
Oh, it's charming. Oh, let me see it. Oh, and it is engraved, too. To Maggie. Long may she wave. Birds. Oh, isn't that sweet, Sherry?
Oh, it's peachy.
I told you it was beautiful, Bert. See?
Well, just goes to show what you get if you save your coupons.
Will this dribbling never stop? My head is bursting.
What goes on between you two, anyhow? Maggie, are you hiding something from us?
You know what? A Jefferson special will fix anything. Oh, by the way, I got a 2-minute interview with Beverly Carlton at the station. You were right, Mr. Whiteside. He is quite something.
Go ahead, Bert. Mix the drinks.
On the fire. You know, I was lucky to even get 2 minutes with him. He was in a phone booth for most of the time.
Bert, mix those drinks, will you?
Okay. Oh, you know, I couldn't hear what he was saying, but from the looks and the looks he was making, looked like a scene for one of his plays.
Bert, for goodness sakes, will you?
Just one moment, Mr. Jefferson, if you please. Mr. Carlton was in a telephone booth at the station.
Oh, certainly was. I mean, like I said, I couldn't hear what he was saying, but he was just talking and making the damnedest faces for about 5 minutes.
boy. I have a feeling I shall love the Jefferson Special. Make mine a double one, will you? My headache has gone with the wind.
Okay.
Philo Vance is now at work. Hello, operator? Yes, can you tell me, has there been a call from England placed on this telephone in the last 30 minutes? Yes, I'll hold.
Sherry, what is all this?
There have been no calls from England placed on this telephone in the last 3 days? One moment, please. Blossom. Now, would you mind repeating that, please? Hear it, dear? Thank you, operator, and Merry Christmas.
Sherry, what is all this?
It seems, my dear, that you have just played the greatest love scene of your life with none other than your old friend, Beverly Carlton.
Why, that's not true. I was talking to Cedric. Ooh, what is all this? What does that mean?
It means, my dear, that was Beverly you poured your girlish heart out to, not Lord Bottomley. Ah, me. Who'd have thought that 5 minutes ago you would not be going to London?
Sherry, I want this explained.
Explained? You heard the operator, dear. All I can tell you is that Beverly was engaging in one of his famous bits of mimicry. Why, you've heard him do his Lord Bottomley before, haven't you?
Why, yes, of course, but why would he do such a thing? I mean, my God, this is dreadful. Oh my God. Those cables. Those cables! Give me the hotel, whatever it's called. I want the hotel. Oh, I always knew Beverly was low. I'll pay him back for this if it's the last thing I do. Why, the skunk, the louse, the dirty, rotten mansion house. Put me through to the maid. What? Who the hell do you think it is? It's Miss Sheldon, of course. Oh, God. Those cables. Those cables. If only Cosette hasn't said them. Cosette? Cosette? Did you send those cables? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, oh, oh. Now listen, Cosette. I want you to send another cable to every one of those people and tell them that somebody has been using my name, and to disregard anything and everything they hear from me. Except this, of course. Don't ask questions, do as you're told. Don't argue with me, you French cow. Damn it, do what you're told. And unpack, we're not going.
Now, steady, my Blossom. Take it easy.
What do you mean, take it easy? Do you realize I'll be the laughingstock of London? Why, I won't dare show my face. Oh, I always knew Beverly Carlton was low, but not this. Why? Why? Well, it wasn't even funny. Why would he do it? That's what I want to know. Why would he do it. Oh, I can't understand it. Do you, Sherry? Do you, Maggie? Well, you both saw him this afternoon. Why would he walk out of here, go right to a phone booth, and try to ship me off to England on a fool's errand? Why, it doesn't make any sense. Well, there must have been some reason. There must have been. Why would anyone in the world want to play a silly trick like this? I mean, there had to be a reason. Why would Beverly Carlton, or anyone else for that matter, want to send me off to England on a fool's errand? Oh. I think I begin to... Oh. Of course. Of course that's it. Of course that's it. Yes, that's a charming little bracelet Mr. Jefferson gave you for Christmas, isn't it, Maggie? Oh, it makes complete sense now. And to think that I nearly went... Well, wild horses couldn't get me out of here now, Maggie. And if I were you, I'd hang on to that bracelet, dear. It'll be something to remember and buy.
Woo! Hey, Mr. Whiteside! Almost time. Hook her up, boys. Start testing. Here's your copy, Mr. Whiteside.
How much time?
Oh, a couple of minutes.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What in the world is all this? What are you gonna... Get out! Get out of this! Yeah! Don't get... Confound it!
Very high lamp.
I'm sorry.
Waiting.
Here comes the Jefferson Special. Ooh. Have we time?
Oh, I'm sure we have, Mr. Jefferson. My plans have changed. I'm not leaving after all.
Oh, well, that's good.
And I hear you've written a marvelous play, Mr. Jefferson. I want you to read it to me tonight. Will you? We'll go back to the mansion house after dinner and you'll read me your play.
Why, I should say so. I'd be delighted. Maggie, did you hear that? Say, I'll bet you did this, didn't you? You set this whole thing up well. It is the greatest Christmas present you could have gotten me. Maggie? Maggie!
30 seconds.
What? With who? Mr. Whiteside!
Quiet!
Mr. Whiteside, my son is on the board of freighter. My daughter is married the anarchist. And they say you told them to air. Don't tell me quiet. Fire on the air.
That's what you say. Quiet. Be quiet. For goodness sake, quiet.
Step out of the way! Please!
Confound it.
All right, boys. Down here to the mic. Get right there.
Okay, Mark.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Cream of Mush brings you Sheridan Whiteside.
This is Whiteside speaking. On this eve of eves, when my own heart is overflowing with peace and kindness, I think it most fitting to tell once again of that still and lustrous night, nigh on to 2,000 years ago, when that first star of Bethlehem was glimpsed in a wondrous sky. Miss Preen! Miss Preen!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where do you disappear to all the time, my lady Nausea?
Mr. Whiteside, I can only be in one place at a time.
That is very fortunate for this community.
Order, Mr. Whiteside. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, John. Merry Christmas.
Are you ready for your breakfast now, Mr. Whiteside?
No, I don't think I want any breakfast this morning, John. Tell me, has Miss Cutler come down yet?
No, sir, not yet.
Is she in her room, do you know?
Shall I call for her?
No, that's fine. Thank you, John.
Yes, sir.
I'm taking the 1 o'clock train, Sherry. I'm leaving.
You are doing nothing of the kind.
Here are your keys, your driving license, the key to the safe deposit vaults in the apartment in New York. I'll go in here now and clear things up.
No. Now, just a moment, Mrs. Simmons. I want to talk to you. Where were you until 3 o'clock this morning? I stayed up half the night in the station wagon worrying about you. Now, you heard me calling to you when you came in. Why didn't you answer me?
Look, Sherry, it's over, and you've won. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, come. What are you trying to do? Make me feel like a naughty boy? No, honestly, Maggie, sometimes you can be so annoying.
You know, you're quite wonderful in a way, Sherry. You're annoying. I wish there was a laugh left in me. Shall I tell you something, Sherry? I think you're a selfish, petty egomaniac who would see his mother burned at the stake if that were the only way he could light his cigarette. I think you would sacrifice your best friend without a moment's hesitation if you disturbed the sacred routine of your self-centered, paltry little life. I think you are incapable of any human emotion that goes higher up than your stomach, and I was the fool of the world for ever thinking I could trust you.
Well, as long as I live, I shall never do anyone a good turn again. Oh, I won't ask you to apologize, Maggie, because in 6 months from now, you will be thanking me instead of berating me.
In 6 months, Sherry, I expect to be so far away from you.
Merry Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas. Oh, I'm a little high, but I can explain everything. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Mr. Whiteside. Shake hands with the successful playwrights. Maggie, why did you run off last night? Where were you? Miss Sheldon thinks the play is wonderful. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, that's fine, Bert.
Isn't that wonderful, Mr. Whiteside?
Look, Bert, I think you ought to go on home now, don't you?
What? No! Biggest day of my life. Like, you know, I know I'm a little drunk, but this is a big day. We were over in Billy's Tavern all night. Didn't even realize it was daylight until it was daylight. Maggie, Miss Sheldon thinks that the play needs just a little bit of work. Do it in 3 weeks. She's got this place up in Lake Placid. She's going to take me up there just for 3 weeks, going to work on the play. Isn't that wonderful? Why don't you say something, Maggie?
Look, Bert, I suggest you tell us all about this later. Now, why don't you head out of here? Oh, good God.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I thought if I came in very early.
God bless us all and Tiny Tim.
Dr. Bradley, would you do me a favor? I think Mr. Jefferson could use a bit of black coffee and a little breakfast. Would you take care of him, please?
Of course.
Say, Doc, I'm gonna buy breakfast for you. Biggest breakfast you've ever seen.
Of course, Jefferson.
Ooh, I got an idea. Why don't we go climb down some chimneys? Oh, I've got this friend who doesn't believe in Santa Claus. Let's climb down his chimney and scare the hell out of him.
Now look, Maggie, I willing to forgive your tawdry outburst and talk about this calmly.
I love him so terribly. Oh, Sherry, why did you do it? Why did you do it?
Merry Christmas, dear Mr. Whiteside.
Merry Christmas, Miss Stanley. Merry Christmas.
I really shouldn't be seen talking to you. My brother is terribly angry, but I couldn't resist asking. How did you like my present?
Oh, I'm very sorry, Miss Stanley. I haven't opened it yet. Why, I haven't opened any of my Christmas presents yet.
I was anxious. Well, here it is. Won't you open it now?
I appreciate your thinking of me, Miss Stanley. This is very kind of you. Oh, why, it's lovely. Oh, why, I'm very fond of these old photographs.
I was 22 when that was taken. That's my favorite dress. Do you really like it?
Well, I do indeed. You know, when I get back to town, I shall send you a little gift.
Oh, will you? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Inside. Oh, I'm going to be late for church. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss Stanley.
What is it about that woman?
There's made you something special. It's just coming out of the oven right now.
Well, thank you, John. Miss Preen! Miss Preen!
Sir?
Open the door, will you? John is upstairs.
Who is it?
I love you.
Oh!
Matt.
What do you think you're doing?
Matt.
Oh,
Kiss
Mr. Whiteside,
me.
who is this
Don't be
man?
afraid of my passion. Kiss me. I
Don't you
can
hear me?
be
Get
your
away. Don't you come near
Proudly.
me. Don't you come near me. I won't put up with this. No
Kiss
way.
me.
Oh,
Kiss
no.
me.
Oh, no.
Kiss me, woman.
No one is kissing anybody.
Banjo! Oh, for God's sake, Banjo!
Whiteside. Will you sign for this package, please?
Oh, Banjo, unhand that woman. That's my nurse, you mental delinquent.
Mr. Whiteside.
Come to my room in half an hour and bring some rye bread.
Mr. Whiteside.
Ah, Whiteside. I've come to spend Christmas with you. Give me a kiss.
Oh, get away from me, you reform school fugitive. How did you get in here, anyway?
How dares lend me his reindeer? Whiteside, we finished the picture yesterday. I'm on my way to Nova Scotia. Flew for 12 hours. I borrowed an airplane from Howard Hughes. Whiteside, I brought you a wonderful present. This bra was once worn by Lana Turner.
Oh, listen, you idiot. How long can you stay?
Just long enough to take a bath. I'm on my way to Nova Scotia. Where's Maggie?
Nova Scotia? What do you want to go to Nova Scotia for?
I'm sick of Hollywood. And there's a dame in New York I don't want to see. So, I figured I'd go to Nova Scotia and get some smoked salmon. Where the hell is Maggie? Where is she? What's the matter with you? I want to see her.
Banjo, I'm very glad you're here. I'm very annoyed with Maggie. Very.
What's the matter? Say, what is this? I thought you couldn't walk.
Oh, I've been all right for weeks. That isn't the point. I'm furious with Maggie. She's turned on me like a viper. Well, do you know how fond I am of her? Now, after all these years, she's returning my affections by behaving like a fishwife.
What are you talking about?
Oh, but I never believed for a moment she was really in love with him.
In love? With who? I just got here. Remember?
Great God, I'm telling you, you Hollywood nitwit. A young newspaper man here in town.
Wow. Maggie finally fell. Well, what do you know about that?
What kind of a guy is he? Well, shut up and listen. Well, go on, go ahead. Well, tell me what happened.
Well, Lorraine Sheldon just happened to come out here and visit me.
Hold hot pants here.
Yes, well, this young fellow, he'd written a play, and, well, you can guess the rest. Lorraine's taking him away with her this afternoon to rewrite. So there it is. Maggie's in there now, crying her eyes out.
Poor kid. Wait a minute. What do you mean Lorraine Sheldon happened to come out here? I smell rat jelly and whack the bee on it.
All right. But I did it for Maggie because I thought it was the best thing for her.
Sure. You haven't thought of yourself in years. Poor kid. Can I go in and talk to her?
No, Banjo, leave her alone.
Anything I can do, Whiteside. Say, where's this guy live? This guy she likes. You want to get a hold of him?
No, Banjo. We don't want any phony warrants, so you dressing up like J. Edgar Hoover. Yes. I've been through all that with you before. I've got Lorraine out here, and I've got to get her away.
Well, it's got to be good, Sherry. Lorraine's no dope. Now, there must be something that will get her out of here like a bat out of hell. Say, I think I got it. What's the name of that fellow? She's a crazy guy in England. What's his name again? Lord Fanny. No, or something like that. Bomley. That's it, Bomley.
No, Banjo, no.
You don't catch on. We send Lorraine a cablegram from Lord Bomley so she
I catch on, Banjo. Lorraine caught on too. It's been tried.
Ooh. Well, I told you she was no joke. Looks like we've got ourselves in quite a difficult proposition on your hands.
The trouble is they're so damn little time. Get out of my chair! Damn. He's going away with Lorraine this afternoon. Damn. The trouble is I've done this job too damn well. And a damnation.
Stop, Tom.
In the words of one of our great lyric poets, you said it.
Yeah. I'm hungry. Well, I'll think of something. Sherry, you watch. We'll get Lorraine out of here, even if I have to do it one piece at a time.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside! Excuse me. I've got something for you.
Oh.
Mr. Whiteside, it was for you!
Oh, never mind, Sarah. He's quite mad.
Come, Petrushka. We shall dance. We shall dance in the snow.
Mr. Whiteside! Mr. Whiteside!
Oh, just give him some breakfast, Sarah. He's harmless. And just what does this mean?
This means, Mr. Whiteside, that I am leaving. My address is in the desk inside. You may send me a check.
You realize, Miss Preen, that this is completely unprofessional?
Oh, I do indeed. Not only am I walking out of this case, I am leaving the nursing profession. I became a nurse because all of my life, ever since I was a little girl, I was filled with the desire to serve a suffering humanity. But after 1 month with you, Mr. Whiteside, I'm going to go work in a munitions factory. Anything I can do to cause the total elimination of the human race, I will do with the greatest of pleasure. If, Mr. Whiteside, Florence Nightingale had nursed you, she would have married Jack the Ripper instead of founding the Red Cross. Good day.
Mr. Stanley is here with June. He's brought June back. Thank goodness. Oh, June. Thank God you're back. You're not married.
Are you?
No, Mother, I'm not. And please, don't be hysterical.
Oh, June, if it had been anybody but that awful boy. Thank you for stopping in. Ernest, how did you do it?
Never you mind, Daisy. It's all taken care of. Everything's under control. You just take Jude upstairs. I'd like to talk to Mr. Whiteside alone.
Oh, but what about Richard? Is there any news?
Don't worry about it. I've got it all under control. Just take June upstairs.
Father, haven't we had enough melodrama? I don't have to be taken upstairs. I'll go upstairs. Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. Things are not looking good for John and Lewis.
Say that name.
Come on, Mother. Lock me in my room.
Oh, June, you'll feel a lot better after a hot bath, I know. Have you had anything to eat?
You? Mr. Whiteside, I am pleased to inform you that things have gone a little awry with your plans for my daughter. As you can see, she is not now, nor will she ever, be marrying that labor agitator you sent up for her so graciously. Mr. Whiteside, I, not having your gift for invective, cannot even begin to tell you what it has been like. You constantly meddling in my affairs, but I am assured that you will meddle no further. Gentlemen, come in. Right this way. Mr. Whiteside, these two are deputy sheriffs. They have a warrant by which I'm allowed to put you out of this house immediately. Mr. Whiteside, I will give you 15 minutes. And that means I want you gone. If you are not gone in those 15 minutes, these two will forcibly eject you, and I need not add, it will be the greatest moment of my life. Thank you. You may wait outside. 15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside. That means baggage, wheelchair, octopus, cockroaches, convicts, penguins, and all. And now, Mr. Whiteside, I'm going upstairs to smash my radio so that I will never, not even by accident, hear your voice in my house again.
Are you sure you don't want my autograph, old fellow?
Autograph? 14 and a half minutes, Mr. Whiteside.
Whew. Well, she can't cook. Whiteside, I ain't getting ideas. Any news from the front?
Yes, the enemy is at my rear, and nibbling.
Where did you say Maggie was? In there?
It's no use, Banjo. She's taking the 1 o'clock train out.
What? You didn't tell me that. You mean she's leaving? She's actually quitting you after all these years?
Oh, she is.
Well, that means you've only got till 1 o'clock to do something.
No, Banjo. It means I have exactly 15 minutes, 14 minutes, to pull out of my hat the most amazing rabbit you've ever seen.
What do you mean, 14 minutes?
Because in exactly 14 minutes, Banjo dear, baby's rosy little body is being thrown out in the snow. Mine host has sworn out a warrant.
What?
I'm being kicked out.
I've never heard of such a thing. Why would you do a thing like that for?
It was... But never mind, Banjo, never mind. The point is, I have only 15 minutes. Oh, Banjo dear, the master is growing a little bit desperate.
What about laying your cards on the table with Lorraine?
Oh, now, Banjo, you know Dream Girl as well as I do. What do you think?
You're right.
Banjo, go in there for a moment and talk to Maggie. No, right in there. Oh, I've got to think.
You know what? If I knew where Lorraine was right now, get a car, run her over. Oh, it wouldn't hurt much.
Oh, please, Banjo, I've got to think.
Excuse me, ma'am. Is this the YMCA?
Is this Mom your father?
No, you idiot. Hello, Mr. Whiteside. I didn't get very far. Any suggestions?
Well, I'm very sorry, Richard. Very sorry indeed. I wish I were in a position to...
Well, you're not in a position, Mr. Whiteside. Thank you, officer. Here's a little something for your trouble.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
And Richard, will you please go upstairs?
Sorry, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, it's all right, Richard.
10 more minutes, Mr. Whiteside. Tick, tock.
juice, Mr. Whiteside. Are you feeling any better?
Oh, I'm feeling superb, John. Is there any cyanide in this orange juice? Oh, open the door, John. It's probably some mustard gas from an old friend.
Say, that crazy fellow made a great impression on Sarah. He wants to give her a screen test.
Good morning. Mr. Whiteside up yet? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, darling. I've come to have Christmas breakfast with you. May I?
Oh, of course, my sprite. John, a tray for Miss Sheldon?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you better make it 1 minute, eggs.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Sherry, it's the most perfect Christmas morning. The snow is absolutely glistening. Oh, it's too bad you can't get out.
Oh, I'll probably see a bit of it. I hear you're headed for Lake Placid, my blossom. You and Jefferson.
Why, Sherry, how'd you know that? Is Bert here?
Oh, he rolled in a little while ago. You worked rather fast, didn't you, dear?
Sherry, darling, I was just swept off my feet by the play. It's fantastically good. Well, Sherry, a part like that only comes along once in 10 years. Oh, darling, I'm so grateful to you. Really, Sherry. Sometimes I think you're the only friend I have in the world.
Oh, thank you, dear. What time are you leaving? You and Jefferson!
Oh, I don't know. I think it's 4 o'clock. You know, Sherry, apart from anything else, Mr. Jefferson really is a very attractive man. It makes it rather a pleasure squaring accounts with little Miss Vitriol. In fact, it's all worked out beautifully. Sherry, lamb, I want to give you the most beautiful Christmas present you've ever had in your life. Now, what do you want? Anything. I am so deliriously happy that
muffin! My kingdom for a muffin!
Oh, that sounds like Banjo. Is he here?
Oh, he is indeed, dear. Just the family circle gathering at Christmas. Ooh. Oh my. How time flies when you're having fun.
Sulfur? Oh, well! Hello, sweetie pants! How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you, Banjo?
Oh, I'm fine. How's the mattress business, Lorraine?
Very funny. You know, Banjo, it's too bad your pictures aren't as funny as you seem to think you are.
Oh! You got me there! Mama! Oh! You're looking at the pink, Lorraine. Anything in the wind?
Not a glimmer.
When does the boat sail?
Oh, 10 minutes.
What boat is this?
The good ship up the creek.
I've listed everything except the New Year's Eve broadcast. Wasn't there a schedule on that?
Oh, yes. It's on the table, over here someplace.
Thank you.
New Year's Eve? Oh, Bert and I are here in Lake Placid. Well, you were at my cottage up there once, weren't you, Sherry? It's lovely, isn't it? Away from everything, just snow and clear, cold nights. Oh, that must be Bert. I told him to meet me here. You know, I'm really looking forward to Lake Placid. Bert's the kind of man who can do all winter sports beautifully.
Will you get the time? I'll get it! Come in.
Whiteside.
I love you. Madly. You understand? Madly. Don't be afraid of our passion. Kiss me. I can feel hot blood down the American veins. American Express!
All right, just back up in here. All right, easy does it. Whew. All right, now swing your wind around. Not your wind. All right, now where do you want this put?
Just right there.
Why, Sherry, what's this?
Oh, good God, if there was anything I needed right now, it was an Egyptian mummy.
I'm sorry. It's not going to work out. Now, you understand? Oh, from the Khedive of Egypt. What'd you send him? Grants too? Excuse us.
No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. 5 minutes, Mr. Whiteside. Get that out of my house.
What was that all about? Who is that man?
Oh, he announces the time every few minutes. I pay him a small sum.
But what on earth for, Sherry?
I lost my watch.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Good God!
Mr. Whiteside, I thought perhaps you had a few moments that we... I'll be in there. I'm writing a new chapter on the left kidney.
Is that the plumber again, Sherry? Dear, I wonder where Bert is. Sherry, you're not very Christmassy. You're usually bubbling over on Christmas morning. Who said this to you, Sherry? The Khedive of Egypt? You know, I think it's rather beautiful. Oh, I must go to Egypt. I really must. I know I'd love it.
Ooh, how about today, dear?
Oh, what? I cried all night the first time I went to Pompeii. All those people, all those lives, where are they now? What, Sherry, don't you ever think about that? I do. Why, here was a woman, like myself, a woman who lived and loved, full of the same passions, fears, jealousies, and hates. And what remains of it now? Just this, and nothing more. A span of 4,000 years, a mere atom in the eternity of time. And here am I, another woman, living out her life. Oh, I want to cry. Oh, I mustn't talk this way today. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
But Lorraine, dear, have you ever played St. Joan?
No, I haven't, Sherry. What makes you ask that?
There was something about your expression as you stood in that kiss. There was an absolute halo about you.
Why, Sherry, how sweet.
It transcended any mortal expression I've ever seen. Step into it again, please.
Oh, Sherry, you're joshing me. Aren't you?
My dear, I don't make light of these things. There was a strange beauty about you, Lorraine. Pure Da Vinci. Please step into it again.
Well, I don't know exactly what it was that I did, but I'll... Oh, I feel too silly, Sherry.
Lorraine, in that single moment you approached the epitome of your art, and you should not be ashamed of it. Now, you asked me just a few moments ago what I wanted for a Christmas present. All I want, Lorraine, is the memory of you in that money case.
Sherry, I'm all choked up. dust thou art, and dust to dust.
Eureka!
That's service for you.
Will she be all right in there?
Sure. She can breathe easy. I'll let her out as soon as we get on the plane. What are we going to do now? Say, how are we going to get that out of here?
Oh, one thing at a time. That's the next step.
Think fast, Captain. Think fast.
This is everything, Sherry. I'm leaving 3 cardinals. Is there anything out there? What's in this desk?
No. There's nothing. Nothing at all.
Shall I file these letters? Do you want this picture?
No. Throw everything away. No, wait. Give me the picture. I want the picture.
The only thing I haven't done is put all your broadcasts in order. Do you want me to do that?
What? Oh, yes. Do that for me, Maggie. Right away. It's very important. Right away, Maggie.
I'll see you before I go, Banjo.
I've got it. What? I've got it. I knew I'd seen this face somewhere before.
What face?
And now I know how we'll get this out of here.
Time's up, Mr. Whiteside. 15 minutes, come and gone.
Yes. 15 minutes, Mr. Stanley. But I wonder, would you do me a small favor before I go? I would like to ask you to have those 2 officers come in here and help this gentleman down to the airport with this mummy case. Would you be good enough to do that for me, Mr. Stanley?
I will do nothing of the kind, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, but I think you will, Mr. Stanley.
Oh?
Or shall I inform my radio audience on my next broadcast that your sister, Harriet Stanley, is none other than Harriet Sedley, who murdered her mother and father with an axe 25 years ago in Gloucester, Massachusetts.
That was...
Oh, come now, Mr. Stanley, it's a very small favor. Or would you rather have the good folk of Massalia repeating at your very doorstep that once popular little jingle, Harriet Sedley took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks, and when the job was nicely done, she gave her father 41. Oh, come now, Mr. Stanley. Remember, I'm giving up something too. It would make one hell of a broadcast. Well?
Mr. Whiteside, you are a devil of a man!
You're a little late in finding that out, old fellow. Officers! Would you come in here, please? Officers! Mr. Stanley would like you to help this gentleman down to the airport with this mummy case. He's sending it to a friend in Nova Scotia.
Collect!
Right, Mr. Stanley?
Right. Oh!
Oh, now, handle it carefully, boys. Banjo, my love, you are wonderful, and I may write a book about you.
Don't bother. I can't read.
I don't doubt that.
Goodbye, Maggie. Love conquers all. Be careful with that case, gentlemen. It contains an antique. Careful. Careful.
Sherry, was that?
It was indeed, my dear. Just a little Christmas gift for you.
Oh, Sherry. Sherry, you old reprobate.
My hat and coat, John. I'm leaving for New York.
You're leaving, Sherry?
Don't argue with me, rat girl. You just do as you're told.
Yes, Mr. Whiteside.
Mr. Whiteside, I wanted to apologize. Say!
No. Don't you give it a second thought first. There's been a slight change of plans. Lorraine Sheldon is off on a world cruise, and I'm taking your place to Catherine Cornell. Miss Cutler will explain everything.
Maggie! Mr. Whiteside, are you very busy?
Ah, yes. Very busy, Doctor. Very busy. But if you ever come to New York, Doctor, try and find me. Maggie, my lamb, I love you very much.
Sherry, you're wonderful.
Oh, nonsense. Goodbye, Jefferson. You'll never know the trouble you've caused.
Bye, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Stanley. I would like to hear, in the very near future, that your daughter has been permitted to marry her young man, and that your son has been allowed to follow his own bent, or else. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, the snow is glistening. We sing a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. Merry Christmas, everybody! In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend like he is Parson Brown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman.
What in God's name is happening? Where is he going? I didn't even know he could walk even.
It's all right, Bert. You're too young to know. Just don't ask questions.
Ernest, Richard is being very difficult. We'll have to talk.
Damn it! What was that?
Bert!